Welcome to the Black Lodge Games live stream. We have a very special treat for you tonight. We are joined by our good friend, Viktor Gorchev. Victor has something very special, a Kickstarter that is launching tomorrow. And if you check the pinned comment, at least it should be pinned in the chat. If it's not, let me know.
Check it out, get after it.
Yeah, there's the link to go and sign up. We're going to take a look in a little while at the actual Kickstarter page itself, so you can see the rewards and all the sick fucking art that Victor has. But anyway, welcome, man. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy to be on. I was actually looking forward to this. I like you guys. You guys got a really cool setup. I like that you just actually get to hang out together in real life. That's really cool. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And you and John had us on very early. After we started YouTube, which was super awesome. Got us a bunch of subscribers, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, so I have a copy, not on hand because we were scrambling to get the camera set up, but I have a copy of the original Modern Necessities that came out, and it has an actual kill count because I used it the physical book to murder a spider in my home.
Well, I hate spiders, so I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, they're awful. Yeah, but let's say hi to the chat before we get too far. Let's see here. We got Malachi or Malachi. Is it Malachi or Malachi?
I think he says Malachi.
Malachi. Okay, cool. I heard someone say Malachi on a stream.
I always say Malachi too, but yeah.
It looks like that's how it should be pronounced based on the spelling.
Yeah. And I have a friend in New York named Anders, but then we have a friend who makes RPGs named Ander. And every time I start talking to one of them, I screw up their names in the opposite direction consistently. But Malachi says, here to support my Dutch friend. His stuff is really good if you're into the OSR, but want a modern setting.
Correct.
Which is true.
That's exactly what this Kickstarter is going to offer you.
Mouse, what are you doing? Hold on, my mouse is going schizo. There we go. Also, Heineken and Grolsch are good Dutch beer.
Yeah. Kyle McLaughlin approved.
Yeah.
I like both, yeah.
Got some people saying hi to each other. Grolsch can come with a ceramic stopper top so you don't spill beer on your game stuff.
Yeah.
That, I think, is unavoidable, unfortunately. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
This should be interesting. Vid, how's it going, man? I can't remember, Vid, if you're the guy who wanted to meet up with us. I do apologize. I saw an email about that this morning, and I feel really bad because I forgot. So sorry about that. But we got Squat Bench Deadlift in the house. How's it going, man?
Good to see you as always, man.
Tasty Win saying, I like Victor, but Gygax was right. Guns don't belong in D&D. What do you got to say about that, Victor?
You mean the guy that put laser guns in one of the modules, like one of the very first modules ever? The guy that put Martians and cyborgs in Zero E? Like, he didn't like guns in D&D at all in fantasy.
Countered immediately.
Dyson Anarchy, thank you for joining us. You can hear the cigarette puffing. That is true. We were smoking. We actually ditched Victor for a minute to go and smoke. And I've got nicotine pouches on as well.
I miss smoking, but
dude, it's awesome. This is the thing. Like if they cured cancer tomorrow, I would never quit.
Oh yeah, no. Same.
But yeah, why would anyone not smoke?
Because people are like, oh, cigarettes, they're so gross. I'm like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Cigarettes are awesome.
They have always been cool.
Yeah.
They will always be cool.
Yeah. Don't ever tell children that it's not cool. It's like turn on like Mad Men. Tell me it's not
Tell
cool.
me that's not fucking cool.
Tell me it's not cool to
Tell
smoke.
me you don't want to be
Watch Fight Club. Tell me it's not cool.
I used to smoke like 3 packs a day, something like that. I used to smoke hand-rolled tobacco because I was like a construction worker for a while, and that's just what you did. At one point, I had like one of those airport like ashtrays filled with sand, like next to my chair in my room.
Oh my god!
I was a heavy smoker back in the day.
Yeah, so you've already got all the smoking achievements.
Respect. Don't have guns in your D&D. Wrong. Hey everybody, how's it going? DJ Widget. I paused Wendigoon for this, guys. Better bring your A game. We always bring our A game.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see here. BLG Duo is probably still planting their tobacco. Very correct. Look at Vic. Look, it's presentable.
Yeah,
right.
put on my best shitty shirt, and
Yeah. I just don't think the mechanics facilitate it well. Armor doesn't mean shit to a high velocity piece of lead.
Well,
I think
you'd
we
be
got-
surprised.
Yeah, I actually saw something recently where they shot musket balls at plate armor.
Yeah.
And it definitely made like a big crater in the plate armor, but it did.
it's not going to kill you.
Yeah. I mean, it could. Like,
I mean, yeah, but like it's not. If you get shot in the heart,
yeah.
and if something just breaches the skin, even if it goes into the muscle, that's not going to definitely kill you.
And it's if you're in like a fantasy setting and you're using like black powder weapons,
Right.
you get one shot, and if you hit someone, maybe they're gonna die, but then you have to reload.
Then you have to reload, and if for some reason you have like modern firearms in a fantasy milieu, like a low tech level, the armor shouldn't do anything because it's not going to.
People, it's actually okay.
Yeah, it actually represents reality.
Well, also, you don't have to use my rules and put them straight into D&D. I'm not saying that you're just playing like a fighter with an AK-47, like shooting dudes in plate mail. You can do like a modern
Speak for
fantasy
yourself.
thing. Like I have rules for Kevlar armor and everything for like plate carriers. Like
It is called Modern Necessities.
Yeah, so you have to. It's intended to be the sort of modern fantasy.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Like Bright, like that movie Bright with Will
which
Smith.
was awesome.
Which is awesome.
I love that movie. So apparently people hate it, and I'm like, no, the movie is awesome.
Those people are wrong.
I think the critics hated it. It's one of those things where like the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is really high. I fucking thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like it had.
I want them to make another one.
Yeah. But sadly, I don't think they will.
They made like an animated one, and it was like about samurai for some reason, and it was kind of cool. It was like an orc samurai, but
I didn't even know about that.
It's like
they should make the orc partner the main character. Ditch Will Smith.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's the least interesting part of that.
Yeah,
that whole movie.
He shouldn't be in movies anymore.
He should not be in movies.
And he shouldn't have been in movies for a very long time.
That's true. And he wasn't.
And he was, and it was great.
Yeah.
Will Smith, you mean? Or
Yeah.
After that slap, he kind of ruined his career a little, I think.
Yeah. That was really funny, though.
Yeah. I actually do respect him more.
Gygax. Guns don't belong in D&D. Gygax's friend. How about a magic wand that looks like a revolver and shoots 6 magic missiles before it needs to be reloaded? Gygax. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, did we already get a super chat from Josh Smith for $5? Thank you.
Yeah, he's right there too, yeah.
Bulletproof is literally the mark on plate armor from a close-range muzzleloader shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly true. This was also unrelated. This is going to be a little bit of American politics, but people are always, talking about the Second Amendment not being it's about muskets and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I recommend anyone who does not follow Garand Thumb, go follow Garand Thumb because they've done a lot of videos with ballistics dummies and muskets, and it's not pretty. It's actually
it would be worse to get shot with a musket ball.
It's like so much worse. Patty's Parlors here. How's it going, man? Glad to have you. Primeval Fantasy. Lots of gentlemen here tonight. What is up, my fellow gamer dudes? Let's see here.
Lots of gentlemen and people that hate guns and D&D, apparently.
Yeah. Well, we will correct their errors.
Yeah.
We didn't get that meetup this week. Yeah, that is true. I do apologize for that, man. Anyhow, why don't you tell us a little bit about the first version of Modern Necessities? What prompted you to do a second version of this greatly expanded version? And just kind of, give us the lowdown.
So my very first book that I kind of like that I started this whole thing with, and this was also my very first Kickstarter, was Modern Rules for 5th edition. And literally less than a month after my Kickstarter finished, the whole OGL thing happened. And that made the future of like doing 5th edition, like D&D stuff, very like uncertain. So I was kind of like scrambling for like a alternative. And I stumbled onto Old School Essentials, and I was like, you know what? Let's test this. I had already written kind of like a very rough around the edges, like OSR, like modern supplement called Simple Modernity. And it got to like Copper Cellar or something, so people enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this with Old School Essentials. I wrote it in like 3 weeks. I barely remember those 3 weeks. It was very feverish. So again, because I wrote it in 3 weeks, in my opinion, it's a little bit rough around the edges. People seem to enjoy it though. It's silver seller on Drive-Thru-RPG right now.
Nice.
I get a lot of compliments on it. People tell me that they're actually using it in their games, which is really cool to hear.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, but like I said,
it's the second most important thing. The first most important thing is the money.
The money.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, money and then accolades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, okay. Yeah. So it's it's the third most important thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so since it was kind of rough around the edges and I wrote it in 3 weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like take my time with it. I'm gonna actually write like a proper version. I like all these ideas that formed afterwards for like more classes, for more guns, for more rules and stuff. And I was like, well, might as well let's do an improved version. And then I decided to also add those stretch goals that people will see later for like the sci-fi cyberpunk rules, for the Weird West stuff, for the adventure module and stuff. So yeah, it's basically just like a process of like writing something, people thinking it's cool, but me thinking like I could do better, and then so yeah, basically that.
Did you run a Kickstarter for the original Modern Necessities, or was that something?
No. That was just I ran one for the 5th edition one, which was the Modern Adventurer's Guide to Guns and Gear.
Guns and Gear, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, the one of the things I really, really liked. I'll bring up the Kickstarter in just a moment. But something I really liked was when we originally had our conversation with you and John on Natural Ones. We were talking about our own ideas for stuff, and we're like, it's really important to have like a consistent art style. And you were like, yeah, but I got all this art from like different people and blah, blah, and like, I'm not sure if it fits. And like, I got the book and I opened it and I was like, this is totally consistent. It's like, it's different artists, but it's all really, really good art.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is the picture of the orc gangster who's like, pointing a gun. Yeah, it's so good.
I love that one.
Yeah. It's like this awesome black and white, really does have kind of an old school feel to it. It reminds me of some of the Palladium books that I had. At least I think they were Palladium. Not that I had them, my brothers had growing up. They were older than I was. But just guys with like machine guns and shit. There's one that's like the guy with it's like a silhouette of the guy with the flamethrower. In there, that's really cool.
All my artists are really great. I am going for a little bit more of a uniform look for this one, so I'm probably going to stick to like 2, maybe 3 artists. Depends if the basic experts wants to do anything. But all that art that was in the first one was stuff that I got for my 5th edition book, and I actually messaged all my backers for the 5th edition stuff because I don't know, I felt kind of guilty reusing the art for some reason. I was like, hey guys, I'm like working on this thing because of the whole OGL business. I'm gonna have to reuse some like a lot of the art, so please don't get offended. I actually sent everyone like a free copy of the PDF of Modern Necessities too, like to all my edition backers, just because, like I said, I felt guilty. But nobody seemed to mind, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to feel guilty, but that's definitely going the extra mile. Definitely a stand-up move. Yeah,
and it's like the thing about reusing art too is like, first of all, like pretty much every major RPG company has done that.
Definitely.
Already. Art is, as we're finding out, expensive. So it's reduce, reuse, and recycle, in my opinion.
The only appropriate implementation of that.
And the cool thing is, so I'm not against AI art or anything like that, but it's clearly inferior to like good human produced art by like a lot. And you're not, it doesn't seem like you're using AI for anything.
I actively avoid it, and not because I have anything against it. And if people want to use it, more power to you. I just personally feel that it will limit your growth in the end, in the long run. And so I would rather just avoid it early and just make do, and then, have a career in the future. As bad as it sounds. So I for like little small projects, I use a lot of like public domain art, and I hack a lot of stuff together, which I enjoy doing because it kind of feels like arts and crafts almost. And
it's I look at the AI art stuff, like it doesn't bother me at all when people use it. It's just, it's very difficult to get anything usable out of it. Everything, there's always something glaringly wrong, and trying to like get it to fix that thing in the picture is really tough. Miguel at the Red Room is actually really good about that, but he spends a lot of time on that stuff, and I just don't have the patience.
Even their stuff, and I don't say this to insult them, they actually do a really good job with the AI they use. But if you look, you can see some like a gun that will just look weird and has like a double trigger guard.
Yeah.
Or like there's one that where it's like kind of like a 1920s theme, and like the guy's uniform just has like buttons like all over it for like no reason.
Yeah.
So you can definitely tell if you look closely. But
yeah, there's some in some of the earlier stuff too, because like the software has gotten considerably better since they started.
Yeah.
Like I'll say, like Wretched Bastards has a lot of the really kind of weirder looking AI art in it, but yeah, it's improved significantly. But there's still it's really, really tough. And yeah, they do a very, very good job out of it. So how does this game, Modern Necessities, since it's based off of Old School Essentials, is it still using the like experience kind of system of like essentially gold for GP? Is it like cash for GP or excuse me, cash for GP, cash for XP, gold for GP? Is that what I said? Yeah.
So yeah, the base system is just Old School Essentials. It's gold for XP. But I do, and that's even in the first book. I do have alternate rules for like different XP systems. Like I have one where it's just like you gain like a little bit of XP every session. Like that's more like story gamey, but some people enjoy that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in like a table for like kind of like suggestions for like, hey, this is how much XP you get for like saving like a VIP, or this is how much XP you get for like killing like a high value target, like that kind of stuff. So there's gonna be some different options.
Yeah. That's cool because that incentivizes them to do that sort of stuff, being like hit squads or like extraction, exactly. All that sort of stuff. If you had to describe, obviously there's no typical adventure in any game because everybody plays radically differently, but what is your kind of vision of like, if people were playing the game right, according to Viktor, just like what would that look like?
Let me think here. Well, it's Old School Essential, so in my opinion, you kind of need to keep like the hex crawling aspect, like the dungeon crawling and stuff. So in my mind, I'm picturing like a special forces team that's like in some fantasy version of like a war zone, like Fantasy Afghanistan or whatever. Or like you could even do like something like Sicario. You're like some hit squad that's going into like Fantasy Mexico to like take out cartel dudes, and you're just doing that. You're just traveling around like this fantasy land. You're doing different missions. You're kicking down doors and shooting people. You're kidnapping high value targets and like delivering them to your superiors, or maybe interrogating them, stuff like that. Or which is that kind of the default setting is going to be. You could do like a kind of like magical apocalypse. Like, what if reality breaks and like fantasy stuff like starts like flooding into like our reality? So all of a sudden, you're in like ruined Europe with like orcs running around and like elves in the Black Forest of Germany. And like I have like a thing where Chernobyl, there's like a lich that settled there. And he's like raising like radioactive undead and stuff.
As he would.
So, So definitely stuff like that. Like I think you should definitely maintain some of that exploration, some of that dungeon crawling aspect. But ultimately, it's up to you how you use it. I'm adding like alternate skill systems. So again, you can like make it a bit more story gamey. You could do something like Cyberpunk 2020. You're just like in a mega city doing different missions. It's all up to you, but
And you've got rules for like a cyberpunk setting, right?
Yeah, that's one of the stretch goals. So
okay.
We have to get there.
Yeah.
You know what to do, boys. But I know exactly how I would use it because I'm terrible at first-person shooters, but I love Escape from Tarkov. So much, and it actually fits with like a somewhat adventurer kind of like genre because you're going into this blocked out combat zone. And especially like the earlier missions where you're dodging scavs, you're dodging other players, and just trying to get into this abandoned house or abandoned factory for like a pack of smokes to take it back to your fence to build some rep with him. Like that would be awesome.
Well, my main setting, which is what one of the stretch goals is going to be, Bunker in the Badlands. It's basically like fantasy stalker. So
Yeah.
Oh, shit, Buttquack
Yeah.
with the Buttquack's got jokes.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at first-person shooters. Is Nick secretly a woman?
He said earlier that I sound like Arnie, which a lot of people say apparently, but yeah, I'll take it.
Roadside picnic crossover with Modern Necessities sounds fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so definitely roadside picnic, stalker, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking because I love the I don't know where it is. It's up here somewhere, but the Stalker, the sci-fi role-playing game with from Burger Games, it's like one of the best settings I've ever seen in a game. But the game sucks. Like the
it's a bit more story gamey, isn't it?
It's like
diceless, right?
Yeah, it's completely diceless, and it's just really hard to actually adjudicate because it's supposed to be super deadly. But it is. It has a kind of an old school flavor to it because it is basically just a dungeon crawl in this extraordinarily dangerous environment. But you need some rules for that to actually work.
You need exploration rules. You need fairly crunchy firearm rules, in my opinion, because that's what Stalker is about, especially with those modern mods that they make, like Anomaly and like all that stuff. Yeah.
And you definitely need rules for the anomalies. Like because some of them are so deadly that oh my god, like there's one, it's really cool, but it's like an infinitesimally small point in space that's like hotter than the sun. You know, it's like if you don't have rules for how that trap works, you're just like, well, you just walked through this point and you died. You know, like let's see here. We got another super chat from Vid for $5 at Viktor Gorchev. Love the pitch. I'm getting fantasy Metal Gear Solid vibes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Definitely. Yeah.
Also,
that's basically a dungeon.
Yeah. It is.
So I'll be honest, Viktor Gorchev isn't my real name. I'm also not the Scrying Dutchman. Surprise. Viktor Gorchev is.
Are you even Dutch?
I mean, maybe. I'm just like in Idaho, like somewhere, like
the whole Euro shtick is just an act.
Harmony Ginger's here. Good to see you. It's but it's that I was thinking, like, if I ever run Stalker again, I'm probably going to use Modern Necessities for it because it's
the setting is too cool.
The setting is way too cool, and this sounds exactly like the sort of thing that would work for that.
Yeah.
I actually wrote a game that was sort of based on Stalker, and it was for the Basic Experts Co-Puncher system. It's called Waste Runners, and I actually want to revisit that because, again, it was like one of my first projects. I was using Scribus to like do the layout, and that program stinks. There's like all these typos that I don't feel like fixing because, again, that program sucks. And then the Basic Expert also did a second edition of Co-Puncher, so I definitely want to revisit that. And that is basically like post-apocalyptic Europe, like what if CERN, like the Hadron Collider, like broke reality. So, you know, there's like all the anomalies and like time warps and radiation clouds and shit like that. So
you know what would also be good?
Collider, is I think it's called.
You'd have to inject a little bit more firearms, I think, than the movie portrays. But one of my favorite movies, it's such a great, tight premise, The Warriors.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Where you're trying to get from just one something goes down. There's a gang meetup.
Yeah,
things go down. It's pinned on you. You got to make it back to your turf.
Yeah,
you know, and just try and keep your boys alive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that would be like an awesome adventure. Actually, like a module. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
The Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Did I say that? I don't know.
What if we finally had the Oogsloo? Oh, the Boogaloo. He says, "What Pure Blood RPG is asking, what program are you using for layout, Victor?"
I use Affinity Publisher, which is considered almost as good as InDesign. InDesign is kind of like considered like the top tier one, but that's like a monthly subscription. I think it's like $20 or $30 a month.
Yeah.
And then Affinity. It's almost as good, but it's like a one-time payment. I think it's like $50-$60, and they often have like deals where you get it half off. I bought it for like $25, so and it works really well. People seem to like my layout, so I don't know. It must be doing something right.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, like the black and red in Modern Necessities is really cool. I think didn't John say that he kind of stole that for Makwahitel?
Yeah, he copied me.
Yeah. Large heart on play. That's correct. Let me see. Hell yeah, that's what I'm using right now. Tried Scribus, and it did indeed suck.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, I'd spent all day getting Emacs to do what I wanted it to, and
I saw your tweets. Yeah,
it looks like it's working. I don't recommend anyone use Emacs if you don't already know how to use it. It will give you brain damage. Let me see here. Vid says, with Mr. Max a bit on the nose as far as the demonetization efforts go. No. Vic said lives in Idaho somewhere. What did he mean by that? Hello from the potato fields. We got fries and vodka.
Well, that just popped in my head because I would love to move to Idaho. Actually, that's probably my first choice if I ever move to the US. So
yeah, which you definitely should.
Yeah.
Patty's Parlor, Scribus sucks. I've been using Apple Pages and I'm learning Affinity.
Yeah.
I have Affinity Publisher and I've used it one time and I got really angry. And because I hadn't watched any YouTube videos or anything yet, I was just like, I can figure this out. And it turns out I can't.
I never watched anything either. I just kind of learned on the fly. Plus my friend who does layouts, I just made her like learn everything. And then I just asked her.
So there you go.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe we should take a look at the Kickstarter.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see here. Okay. I am going to have to resize this window, though, so hopefully I don't kill anything.
Yeah, you can click that thing away on the side, that feedback thing. That should give you more...
Let me see here. Go like this, and then switch here. Move you over here. Okay. All right, I think everybody should be able to see that. Yeah, get rid of there. So this is launching tomorrow, which is why it's at $0 at the moment. But looking for $4,334 American. Got a little video we'll kick off here in a moment. But this, I was looking at this, and this looks so slick, dude. Like the entire thing is awesome. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
this guy is awesome. But the
you get the vibe.
Yeah, you get the vibe here. There's, literally everything that you're going to need here. You have vehicle rules, which are really hard to do too, from what I understand.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll do them right, but we'll see.
Modern magic. You got magic guns in it, right, too?
Yeah.
All right.
This one I'm adding like specific magic guns. I'm adding rules for like how different fantasy races treat firearms design, because a halfling isn't going to design a gun the same way as a human, and neither is an orc or an elf or a dwarf. So
stretch goals here: single action, Weird West rules book, cutting edge cyberpunk rules book, Bunker in the Badlands, an adventure module book, which is awesome. You're really good at coming up with all these names too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then, it looks like it's going to be black and white unless you hit the final stretch goal, which will be colored highlight version plus additional colored art versions of all the books.
That's just to keep cost down because I'm doing at cost print. So people do have to pay for the printing when they get the link. But that's why I do black and white as the basic version.
Yeah.
Plus, those colored highlights that I did in the original, well, none of my art was colored. So I was basically just paying just for that colored text. So I was basically cutting into my profits just for the nice red text. Yeah.
It does look cool. Are you able to do like a PDF version that has the colored text and then the black and white?
The PDF is fine. Like that doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want with that. But just to put the printing on Drive to RPG, they ask more for like color.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like double, I think.
This is awesome, cutting edge, old school rules for futuristic themes. So this is the kind of the cyberpunk one, right?
Yeah, cyberpunk sci-fi. So there's also going to be rules for like spaceships and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Really cool.
And Bunker in the Badlands, which is of course
Stalker-esque vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I specifically asked for like a guy in a gas mask with an AK-47, like shooting some dudes, and that's what the guy delivered. So.
Yeah, a bunch of different classes. What kind? Okay, so you have a soldier class. It looks like. What else you got? You got a hitman, I think.
A contract killer. I have 20 classes in this new version. The original was like 13. I upped it to 20. So there's like all the military stuff, like soldier, heavy gunner, sniper, scout, medic, like all that stuff. So you can play like a full like special forces team if you want.
Yeah,
nice.
There's like the various like kind of like criminal classes. So like the hitman, the crook. which I kind of gave like a John Woo vibe. So they use like double pistols and stuff like that.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I have like a class called the
Definitely
Exorcist. Oh yeah,
heat vibe here.
yeah, that's the basic expert piece, and I really love that piece. It's like one of my
Really
favorites.
nice.
Yeah. It looks so sick. Yeah, if you're gonna wear a suit, wear the leather gloves with it as well.
Yeah.
And I like that they're actually using like modern weaponry.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah,
Right.
what was I? I have an Exorcist class, which is kind of based on Constantine, like the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I have like a ninja because I had just watched John Wick, and I was like, I want ninjas.
Yeah.
And like there's a bunch of stuff like that. The face, so you can be like, the talkie character that charms everyone.
I fucking love Constantine.
Yeah,
that movie was so good.
They're doing a sequel apparently. So
yeah, I saw that, but they're doing that dumb thing where they put the number in the title, so it's like instead of Constantine, it's like Con 210. Yeah,
so stupid.
So stupid. But I will watch basically anything that has Keanu Reeves in it.
That's it.
And the God, was it on CW? I don't remember what channel it was on, but the Constantine TV show.
Oh
yeah,
the
really good.
Hellblazer,
The actor was excellent. If you didn't like, first of all, you're wrong. If you didn't like the Keanu Reeves Constantine because he didn't look like Constantine and wasn't English, that guy was blonde. He sounded exactly.
He wasn't English, man. Yeah. You don't have to sell me on it anymore, Nick.
Yeah. I love the movie. I remember that scene where he's like young and he's sitting on the bus and there's like that jump scare. That scared the shit out of me the first time I saw it.
When is that coming out? Is there a release date?
Probably next year, I would assume.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite part of that movie was the scene where there's actually two parts. It's where he's getting ready to do that ritual and he puts his feet in the water and he has the cat. And he has to like stare into the cat's eyes to go to hell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then when the
Probably
guy
midnight scene.
Yeah. Well, okay, that was really good too. I just like the whole movie. If I'm being honest. Yeah. But the scene where the guy is drinking himself to death.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it.
Yep.
Oh, so good. Like,
is that the guy with like the eyes that keep moving? Like that actor, he has like some kind of like syndrome where his eyes just like always saw like.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I don't know. He's doing
it worked. You know,
he's got like all the
do psychometry.
Yeah. He's got like all the different like religious holy symbols that he's trying to like use to keep the demons off of him and everything. Like, it was so good. That was like when I was running Blue Book World of Darkness. So that movie, I was just like pull like the vibe from everything.
Yeah.
So fucking good. So what do we got here for reward tiers? What are you selling?
See, doesn't it show it on the site? I guess this version doesn't.
Let me see.
We're probably past it.
Potentially. Let me come.
Okay, oh, there you go. That's a different tiers.
Yeah. Different tiers here. Oh wow, you got a lot.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
I know this.
I love that one.
The fucking Adidas tracksuit, or legally distinct tracksuit.
Yeah. So €9 gets you the PDF, and then if all the stretch goals are made, that gets you all the PDFs. So for €9, you get like 4 PDFs, and then I think €19 is the PDF plus softcover. And again, if all the stretch goals are reached, you get all the softcover, all the books in that. And then 29, I believe, is PDF plus hardcover. And I believe the next one is 39. That's softcover, hardcover, and PDF. So you can get like all of them if you want.
Damn.
And then the ones after that, I believe, are like the group deals. So yeah, the squad deal, you get 4 times softcover, plus 4 times PDF. So if you want, like, if you want to put some money, put some money together with your friends, or even like a retailer or something that wants to sell my book if they want. And then the next one is that, but for hardcover.
Nice.
And then the final one for €109, you get 4 softcovers, 4 hardcovers, and 4 PDFs.
Nice.
That's fucking cool. That that Cyclops. And
it's
gigantic heavy armor.
Yeah. Well, you know how in like Call of Duty, like the Modern Warfare games, there's always like that enemy that's wearing like the bomb suit and there's like a machine gun and stuff. So I wanted something like that. But it's Cyclops.
Yeah, they did that in Max Payne 3 as well.
Yeah.
Which is a very fun game.
Yeah.
But I think Oh God, I don't know. I am so torn on that game because there's so much wrong with it.
I never
Like
played
it-
Max Payne 3,
Oh
but
man,
hearing you talk about it, I
3 is
have to.
awesome.
yeah, some of the shootouts are just fucking amazing. Like they
Yeah,
got
like
the
in the
gunplay
favelas.
down. Yeah. Oh God, it's so good. Right after he shaved his head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome. But like especially in the beginning, the encounters are so short, and then you have to go through these arduous cutscenes that you can't skip because they're being used to hide the loading screen.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just like, this is horrible. And then the plot makes no sense.
Yeah.
But that would be another kind of thing. It's like you've got an organ stealing
Yeah.
scheme that
Yep.
needs to be
Yeah.
that requires you to go shoot everyone in the favelas.
Yeah, why not?
Indeed.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the final tier, and like I said, it's at cost print on demand, so you do have to pay
Mhm.
for print and shipping. But that's kind of why I kept like the general costs like very low.
Yeah.
So
Right.
And is this the same kind of full size format that you had done with the original Modern Necessities?
yeah, I'm just sticking with like leather. That's leather size, right? Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Yeah.
leather. Because I tried making it A5, which is what the core Old School Essentials book uses, but the layout, like it completely messed up all the layout, and I had to like make
Yeah.
everything basically single column, and I didn't really want that for this. So
Yeah, I have like a ton of digest size books now, and I like the format in theory, but for a lot of games, it's just too small. Like
Yeah.
one in particular that I have here from the Red Room it's like a 600-page digest size book that I really wish was just full size.
Yeah, there is a clear like page count ceiling to that to that format.
yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome though, dude. Like this
Yeah, this
looks
is cool
super
as
slick.
shit.
I think that this is gonna like absolutely blow
Yeah.
past its goal.
I hope so.
I'm curious to hear more about the modern magic. I see you have
Mhm.
technomancy in there.
Yeah.
What is that about? What's the gimmick for that?
So it's like a lot of like nano machine stuff. Like you can use like nano
Okay.
machines to like raise like a body, so you can kind of make like a cyber zombie, or you can like
Nice.
raise one of
Nice.
your one of your teammate dies. You can use one of the higher level spells to like revive him, but it turns him into kind of like a cyborg.
Nice.
I have like spells where you can like summon like a car, like kind of like a ghost car to drive around him. Stuff like that. I have like one where you can like teleport to like internet wires or like electricity wires.
Oh, cool.
Or,
The
like,
modern ley lines.
Yeah, or you can teleport like anywhere that like has like a network. I have one where you can take over a security camera and like turn it into a gun, so you can like hack a security camera that just like is aiming into a room, and it just you can start shooting the people in the room with it, and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have a low level spell called finger guns where you can literally just go pew and you shoot people.
That's awesome.
So just kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. That's like the replacement for magic missile, I'm assuming.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you have to do it and you have to make the sound.
Yeah.
I think I actually have that in the description that you have to make the sound.
That's the verbal and somatic components.
The spell fails if the player doesn't make
Yeah.
the sound effect. Oh man, yeah, that's awesome.
That's really cool.
And well, okay, so this is more of a cape. I was going to say trench coat, but yeah, this is definitely a cape and hood. Okay.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you could make trench coat wearing adventurers in this game.
Oh yeah, that's
especially
true.
Yeah.
I might have to put in like a magic trench coat or something like that gives you like kind of like that Matrix thing where you open your coat and there's like guns everywhere.
Yeah, you
like,
can dodge
kind
bullets.
Of like a code of holding.
Yeah.
or that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this cover art too. This fucking giant werewolf.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a werewolf or a wendigo or a were-badger, because the head is kind of badger.
Yeah.
But I still like it, even if it's a were-badger. That's pretty awesome.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah.
And our street samurai here.
The black and blue work really good.
It looks really
here
cool.
as well. And
so these are all going to be literally separate books. It's not just like one compendium that you released.
I was actually thinking that if I reach all the stretch goals, I'm gonna add like a new tier where you can kind of get like a what's called a omnibus, where you can pay to like get like an edition where it's like all included in like one thick book. But I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see.
That's
if
interesting.
Like, feasible.
Yeah.
Are you able to do that mid campaign?
I think you can add new tiers, because I've seen people do that.
People add additional.
I had no idea. That's.
I've seen people do
Really
that where they're like,
interesting.
"Oh, new stretch goal." So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, some people just, if you truly blow past, your all of your stretch goals, and it
Yeah.
was like unanticipated, then you gotta keep the money flowing.
No, I mean, yeah, I just didn't know if the functionality was there. That's really cool.
You have to continue to promise more and more shit. And
That
this
would also
Bunker in the
take the print-
Badlands, this is like keep on the Borderlands, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually ran this. So I ran the original Modern Necessities for my group using Keep on the Borderlands, kind of as like a playtest.
Mhm.
Okay.
We never got to finish it because real life and shit happened, but it was a lot of
of
fun,
course.
and it kind of gave me the idea to like expand on it and make it actually my own and kind of make it a whole
And make it
adventure module.
better.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. That's not
Nick-
too much to keep on the Borderlands. I had to add a lot
No,
of
there's
stuff.
not.
Yeah, Nick hates that module.
Yeah.
We're
But,
doing
it's a
Axis
classic, so-
basically.
What's that?
What we're doing in Axis basically keep on the
Yeah, but it's
right?
better.
Well, of course it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then actually
Yeah.
you can like lose eyes and stuff, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Nick has lost an eye.
I have,
an
and then
ear.
got it back.
Yeah.
Well, got a different one.
Yeah. Now he has.
And it has that McQueen touch, that like that hyper autism. So
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
That dungeon that he made is brutal. Like if you get I don't want to spoil it yet, but there's just
A lot.
he told me, he's like, it's totally fine if you moderate some of the traps because a lot of them are just TPK devices. Like it's like TPK devices, or just if you fail your save, you're fucking dead. There's
Yeah.
no damage, you just die.
I don't mind a couple of those.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would be fine rolling with it. But
Yeah. It's but it's pretty brutal.
yeah.
Well, the trick is not to walk into them to begin with. So yeah.
That's true.
true.
That is
Yeah.
true. Especially when things are telegraphed and
Yeah.
exceptionally obvious. But here's the thing: some of these are not telegraphed.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's a couple of them. That's
Nor
just
should
like,
they. They wouldn't be a
fuck.
good trap if they
Yeah,
were.
that is true. Yeah. You guys still fucking fell into the goddamn thing with the spiders, even though there was like, oh, you found spider eggs outside of the room. And then you guys went inside. It's like, okay, there's a pile of desiccated corpses. But one of them has this shiny gold ring on it, and people are like, I mean, I guess I'm gonna get the ring.
Yeah.
Right. I knew that was going to happen, but my character didn't. I was role playing good.
Yeah. No metagaming.
Yeah. No one else.
It's not metagaming if you're looking at a pile of corpses covered in like webs. You're like,
That is true. Yeah.
that's just treasure, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not gonna get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you guys still killed him anyway. Oh man, yeah, I love this one. I love this. This is heat. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Everything about this.
I'm probably going to use that. So I'm also working on like a new 5th edition modern book slowly, and I'm probably going to use that image for the cover. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
So what's it like bouncing back and forth between 5th edition and old school essentials then? Because I assume the power level is pretty much different.
Yeah. The power level is different, but that's not really the hard part when writing it. It's just 5th edition is a little bit more finicky. You have to close a lot more loopholes, because people will abuse the shit out of stuff where it's like, oh, if I combine this level 1 spell with this, I have a nuke. I'm like, fuck, no, I don't want that. So you're spending a lot of time just kind of closing loopholes, while in old school essentials, you can kind of keep things a lot more simple. But I do enjoy kind of switching between, because sometimes I want simple and sometimes I want that finicky. I actually enjoy like kind of like delving into that nitty gritty. So, and I'm very what's the word? Is it ADHD?
ADHD?
When it comes to projects anyway, like at any one time I probably have like 5 projects going. So
that's the same thing with how I read books. Like I'm
same actually.
Yeah, I read like 5 books at once and like in parallel, and then I finish them all in rapid succession. People are like, "How did you read 5 books that quickly?" I'm like, it actually took quite a while. Yeah. But we're also kind of experiencing that exact same ADHD quality because we have a whole lot of shit that we started working on.
I kind of just go where my inspiration takes me. So if that day I want to work on like my my 2D8 system that I'm developing, I'll just do that, because that's where my inspiration is, and that's I'll get the best work out of myself. If I force myself to do something that I'm not feeling, it's just gonna suck.
Yeah, it's gonna suck, and you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
And 2d8 is the gentleman's mechanic.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
correct.
Let me see here. I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
see if
play
we can
play the Kickstarter video though.
Yeah.
Nice. That picture was actually really sick. I want to go back and look at that in a minute. Murder glove. I want to look at that. Oh, damn it. It didn't pause. Son of a bitch. Yeah, this is going to fucking do a lot of money.
I hope so.
This is going to be fucking
Yeah.
sick, dude. And I hope all of you that are watching right now are signing up for the Kickstarter. Go to the pinned comment.
Yeah, I've already gone up a bit, so yeah. Thanks everyone who
Nice.
clicked the link.
Yeah, this is fucking sick. Yeah, something I really like about the art in general is, let me see here, is just the super high contrast. Like it's just you're either
Right.
in light or you're in shadow. Like it all looks
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Yeah, he does really great work with that black and white. There's a guy named Nolan Collins.
Mhm.
I used to work with this artist named Adam Black, who's like also really good artist. He does like comic book stuff, but I think he's like kind of like semi-retired, and he wasn't really feeling the whole gun thing. So he did like really cool pieces for me. He did like that hot drow chick with the MP5,
Yeah,
which people really
nice.
love. That's in the original book. But then he was like, "Yeah, I'm not really feeling this, and I'm like, kind of like retiring anyway. But I know a guy." And then he put me in contact with Nolan, and I really locked out with Nolan. So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. There was one that was in the video though, where everyone's like shooting their guns, and you can see the buckshot coming out of a
Yeah.
shotgun.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think the picture might be at the bottom of the page somewhere. I think I added it. Let me see.
If not,
If you go way lower.
yeah,
there
here
you
it
go.
is. And then
Yeah, it doesn't
I
let
think I
you-
should be able to.
Yeah, you might have to zoom in.
Oh
With,
damn!
yeah, it shifts things. Yeah,
Yeah, changes the layout.
yeah, and that's my
Goddamn
stupid
CSS.
logo.
Yeah, but you can see the fucking buckshot coming out.
Yeah.
Of it. It's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, he does really good work.
Yeah, that is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
We will definitely be.
That was a
hitting
really
you
good
up.
promo too.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
awesome music.
That music.
Yeah, I
think
just
it's
put that together using like it's just like a site. It's called Animoto, and you pay like a monthly like subscription, and it gives you access to like all this royalty-free music and stuff.
Oh, right
So,
on.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, it definitely gave me Hotline Miami vibes,
Oh yeah.
which you could definitely do.
Which would be another great.
Oh,
way to-
yeah.
That'd be a great way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on solo gaming, but if you
Yeah.
could do a random, warehouse drug den, do Hotline Miami.
Or you just
With it-
run in with nothing.
Yeah.
And you just keep respawning.
Yeah.
Hotline Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Hotline Waterdeep, well, That would be great.
Yeah.
Somebody asked for Nolan Collins' Twitter, so I'm giving it to you in the private chat if you want to like share.
Oh
it.
yeah. Let me
They can
see
give
here.
people can give him a follow because I think he's
Yeah.
he's a really cool dude. He's not too expensive either when it comes to art.
Yeah, let me put this in here. Cool. You guys should be able to click on that one. Did we get another super chat? Looks like it. All right, hold on. All right, I'm gonna
great minds with myself and Mr. Max here on the Hotline Miami.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All right, let me take this off the screen for the moment. Got another super chat. Mayor McCheese for $5. The cutscene to gameplay transition in the airport level of Max Payne was a work of art. Everything about Max Payne 3 was a work of art. Like the sheer number of character model variations that they had on Max for like as he progresses through each level, because his clothes are getting all torn up and he's like bleeding. It's like it was like unreal how much detail they put in.
And those flashback levels where you're like fighting the mafioso dudes in like the cemetery. I love that.
So good. I know that was my favorite part of the whole game. It's Max Payne again. You know,
wearing like the leather jacket and everything. Yeah.
Even though they gave him a 1911 for some reason, and then I remember like the marketing material for it. They're like, Max is back with his classic, his trusty 45, and I was like, he had a Beretta 9mm. God damn it!
Yeah. The original,
You're all wrong.
But he's kind of a boomer, I guess. So makes sense.
Yeah, he is a bit of a boomer. Yeah.
Payne.
I fucking love Max Payne. Like the entire like the first one is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
It's so well done. The second one, they added in they added in the physics engine, and it was like really impressive for the time, but it's so goofy because you're like shooting people and they're flying through the air as you're shooting them.
The one of the magic items that I'm putting in this update is actually a reference to Max Payne 2. You remember the squeaky cleaning company, like those hitmen wearing the overalls and they're like posing as like a cleaning company. So I have like basically like an overall like that gives you like bonuses for like sneak attacks and stuff like that.
Nice.
So.
They used the Valhalla, and then I think it got changed to Vodka nightclub in Max Payne 1 and Max Payne 2. Jack Lapino as villains in World of Darkness games before.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
that was a great inspiration. Man, this is fucking great. I am super pumped for this. Like,
when does it go live tomorrow?
In pretty much like 10 hours, 10 and a half hours ish.
Okay,
so like 9 a.m. Eastern.
All right, bright and early.
Yeah, this will be. Yeah. I have no doubt that this is going to blow past. Dude. This thing, like this
is absolutely going to full blow.
This is
easy.
I hope so.
Extremely fucking sick. And if you said you got $5,000 on 100 pre-sign up people last time,
that was the first one. That was the first edition one. But that was like literally like last minute, so it was like a month of just stress. Like, I'm gonna make this, so I'm kind of hoping that this one, it's like one of those like, funded in 1 day deals, and I can just stop worrying. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go a little bit farther back up in the chat and start finding some questions for you. They're definitely in here. Okay, this is about where we left off. Take me a few seconds to find one here. What program for layout? We already had that one. Harmony says that she's nominating Florida for your arrival and your inevitable arrival in the United States.
Would not be a bad choice either.
Yeah.
Florida is pretty based, but I'm not sure I can handle the weather. I'm a pasty Dutchman, and over here it's like 90% like rain.
Well, she's a ginger, so I mean it's the same fucking thing. Yeah,
that's true.
No, I like Florida, but I could not do the summer there. I went there. I left Texas and it was really hot, and I went to Florida and it was like 15 degrees cooler, but it was so humid that I was like, this is way worse.
But the fact that I don't know if this is the case in all of Florida, but the fact that it does rain at least once, like every day, it does help.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
But
I also hate wildlife that can kill you.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't want like giant pythons. Like I don't want
alligators.
I don't want to literally be on a D&D adventure every day.
or have my house destroyed by
Yeah.
a hurricane, or be worried
I
about
used
that
to-
happening every year.
I used to run an old Fallout role-playing campaign that was set in Florida.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we were doing Cyberpunk in Miami,
We were doing Cyberpunk
yeah.
in Miami.
which I still haven't uploaded
Yeah.
the third session. It's been like 6 months.
I did a Fallout
Yeah.
game, a brief Fallout game, with Frank and some people he knows
Yeah.
in Alaska using Mithras,
Oh,
and it was really cool.
nice.
And they loved it.
Yeah.
I had like mutant manatees in it, and I called them man-eaties.
Man,
There you
eaties. Nice. Interesting notes on publishing. That's something I always admired about Kevin Crawford's work. He creates, edits, and publishes all of his products from a page setting software.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Crawford is actually a big inspiration. He makes really awesome stuff. I'll be honest, and hopefully he doesn't fucking see this and hate me. I'm not a huge fan of his layout. It's very dense. Like I like layout with like spacing and stuff. I don't like when like paragraphs are like stuck together. And he's very verbose to begin with, so his layout is. But obviously he has a lot of success. Who the fuck am I? But yeah.
If you don't give at least $1,000 to his Kickstarter, you're a fake fan of Black Lodge Games. Exactly. Elves will have guns that shoot acorns.
I do have a magic weapon. It's called Yggdrasil's Advance, and it's a sniper rifle made out of wood and vines, and it shoots seeds. And if the seeds hits like soil that's wet, it will like grow into like a random thing. It could grow into like vines that will grasp people. It will
That's awesome.
That's interesting.
I think it can grow into a dryad that will like attack you.
Oh, nice.
It's a monster spawning gun. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Here's actually a good question. Steambub asking, how is this different from the first book?
So just I fixed some of the rough stuff. Like I messed up some rules, and like because I wasn't quite as familiar with Old School Essentials when I actually wrote it. And it's also just much expanded, like more classes, more weapons, added rules for like doing airstrikes, for like artillery, like all that stuff. So you can do like a full military campaign if you want.
Yeah.
More spells, more
like Delta Green
NPCs.
style.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to improve the vehicle rules. Just serviceable, but I think I can do better. So yeah, it just is a lot more content. It's probably going to end up being about 50, 60, 70 pages more than the original. So
damn.
Oh shit.
And this is you're pretty far along in development on it as well, right?
Yeah, I've kind of put a pause on it because I want to see how the Kickstarter goes. So because like depending on how much art and all that stuff I can afford, that really
of course. I mean, yeah, because if you
the
get
layout and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
I'm kind of like waiting
if
to
it
see.
goes really far, you could take it even farther.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I somehow like make $500,000, like that's definitely going to change my plans. So yeah.
The number to beat, gentlemen.
Yeah. Can't wait for the gnomish guns.
Yeah.
Vid
Rube
saying
Goldberg
this is
devices.
really cool. Yeah. Harmony Ginger says, I want to hear more about halfling guns.
Okay.
Well, they fit very easily down the bore of the.
Let me look them up real quick because I'm really terrible at remembering my own shit.
Yeah, Buttquack saying that they got +4 to kneecap shots.
Yeah.
So I believe I already wrote the halfling stuff.
Fans of Strange West settings, getting a lot of praise here.
If I allowed hobbits in the modern day, they would all be drug dealers, keeping with the pipe weed gimmick.
Right? Oh yeah.
You can't do anything in a fight, right?
Yeah.
You're just a child. You have a child's body, but you can, sling the weirdest, most deadly crank that is the streets have ever seen.
Man, let's get out.
Yeah.
So I call them cultural firearm design. That's what the
Mhm.
chapter's called. And halfling firearms, being a leisurely, rule-oriented race, halflings never had much use for combat weaponry. Instead, the firearm design is largely geared towards target shooting, hunting, and self-defense against hostile creatures such as wild dogs. Like gnomes, they tend to design these firearms with their own size in mind as well. And then the benefits that they get is like they have a -1 chance to jam. They're suitable to be wielded by small races, so there's like no disadvantage for being tiny. And then the disadvantage that they get is +2 to the reload chance because less ammo capacity. And then non-small users take a -2 penalty to hit. So basically that, and that's kind of like what each race has. They have like pros and cons for like
Yeah.
how they're designed. So orc guns, they also jam less, but they're also more inaccurate because orc guns are basically just like even more junky AKs with like rivets everywhere and like no finish so
and
like
I love the Shadowrun setting. Everybody tells me that the system is horrifically bad.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on which version.
This would be perfect though.
Yeah.
Second edition Shadowrun is pretty awesome. I must admit. Second and third, they're pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I do want to try it, and I think I would do second edition because I snapped up a bunch of source books from the gaming store I was near before moving here.
I'm sorry, I just caught a comment that's coming up. Vid saying this is all looking beautiful, all looks so great, and then Buttquack, our resident Catholic, there's an exorcist, Catholicism confirmed. I will immediately consume this product.
Well, my magical post-apocalypse setting, it actually has like a new Roman Holy Empire that like is based from like the Vatican, and you've got like Catholic paladins and like all this shit. So yeah,
that's awesome. You will make
shut up and take Buttquack's money.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get a lot more supporters from our chat now. We have somehow become the beacon for the papists in the RPG space. Black Lodge Games, that painting of the duo in suits blasting, totally Heat vibes. Exactly.
Yeah, I love Heat. Great movie.
Yeah, Heat is so good.
I recently read the book that's a sequel to it.
God damn it! If you love Constantine so much, you can marry him.
Hell, I'll marry Keanu Reeves. Fucking in a heartbeat.
Constantine is awesome. Okay, so Keanu Reeves is boring and a terrible action hero. I miss guys like Arnold, Stallone, and Van Damme. So I do miss those guys, but I do love Keanu Reeves. And when that fucking first trailer for Cyberpunk dropped, and it was revealed that he was in it, I was so successfully marketed to. I was like, I can't wait to buy this. I love Keanu Reeves,
and he was perfectly cast.
Oh yeah, it's Johnny Silverhand. Yeah, he's fucking awesome.
I can't imagine anyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love Keanu. I mean, I'm a big fan of like Point Break and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah.
Got
to rewatch Constantine. Exactly. The singer from Bush is in Constantine.
I did not know that.
Who was it? I don't know. I couldn't tell you who was in Bush.
Yeah.
So. All right, let me see here. I don't know. Keanu really gets into his work. Seeing his training clips is something else. That is true.
Yeah, all the tweets.
Yeah, he invented tactical reload. Do you have rules for tactical reloads? For like cool, like
I think certain classes have that. Yeah, but I might put in like that thing where you like have like the sleeve gun, like stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
or like maybe like a sleeve reload. I don't know. There's like all sorts of shit I can do.
Yeah,
but like I said, I've kind of taken a break to see how this Kickstarter ends up, but I've got all these ideas floating in my head.
How close to Shadowrun can we get with this? All but the hacking?
I have a hacker class, so you can do hacking.
Yeah,
and then once the Cyberpunk rules come out, I'm gonna like put in all actual custom hacking rules and stuff. So
hell yeah,
awesome. Yeah,
so better than Shadowrun.
Yeah, so yeah, you can do better than Shadowrun.
Yeah.
I do miss Stallone with Demolition Man. Yeah, Demolition Man was like legitimately misunderstood. It was a great movie.
Yeah. Although the 2012 Dread is better in every fucking way.
Yeah,
and it's anyone who argues that is so wrong.
Yeah. Did you, Victor? I'm sure that you've seen Dread. Have you also seen oh God, what is it? It's the Philippines version that we watched
Uh,
that came out the
Oh
same
yeah,
year.
I don't remember the title.
Yeah,
Raid?
the Raid. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so good, so
Yeah.
good. You could totally do something like the Raid, but
Mhm.
with like
Oh yeah. It would just be a
monsters and
big
shit.
dungeon crawl.
Yeah,
And Demolition Man would be like an awesome setting. Like you could be
Yeah.
like some, the surface world is all like, surface level nice and stuff. Or maybe you're some hit team that
Yeah.
goes into like the sewers to like deal with the rebels. Or maybe you're the
Yeah.
rebels and you're going to the surface to like, do terrorism. I don't know.
You could do the you could do the
Minecraft.
Running Man with this.
the Running Man
The
would
Running
be great.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Max Payne, but
Uh,
with sexy dark elves.
You could do Total Recall. I mean,
Oh
you could do
yeah.
RoboCop.
Yeah.
I've actually
Total
wanted to do
Recall.
one. I know you guys play Cyberpunk. You guys play
Mhm.
Cyberpunk Red, right? Not or do
No,
you
we
play?
played
So I-
2020, but took the net running.
The net running rules.
Oh
from
yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take 2020, but play it in the actual RoboCop universe.
Oh, that'd
like-
be perfect.
Oh, in,
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after the third movie, when like OCP is kind of like dismantled, and I want to
Mhm.
do where
Yeah.
like OCP is like cut up into like all these different like smaller megacorps that are causing
Yeah.
trouble, and yeah.
That would be awesome.
We got a lot of love for Max Payne in the chat.
Yeah.
Mr. Max saying that 3 was tempting because it's set in Brazil. It's
Mhm.
very different in tone than the other
Yeah.
ones, but it's the gunplay in that game is so good.
hmm
First one was perfection, though. That is true. And I am looking forward to Remedy's remake. That is going to be beautiful. This guy is a real deal. I will agree. Rambo 2008 is a masterpiece, and that is
Yeah.
another thing that would probably thematically work perfectly.
Oh,
with
yeah.
this.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
I actually
literal-
even liked the last one. That last one was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I didn't
Last
see
Rambo?
the latest one.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's him
kinda
versus
slow.
cartels, right?
Yeah, it's kind of slow to begin with,
Yeah.
and he kind of gets his ass kicked at first, and you're like, come on. And then at the end, he makes up for it because he lures them into like all these underground tunnels, and it's like
Yeah.
Rambo traps and everything. And yeah,
He lures them into the dungeon crawl.
Yeah,
The original Rocky IV is hands down the greatest movie ever made.
I like all the Rocky movies. I like
Uh-huh.
binge watch them like at least once a year. So yeah.
Vid is a big fan, man. The books look slick as fuck. Great work, Victor.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Lethal finger guns. That's totally the elevator scene from the Losers.
Oh yeah, with the sniper. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be another cool. Oh man, now I'm just thinking of action. It's like it's not like okay, Bright. Literally, it's like it has magic, it has elves and
Yep.
everything like that. But now I'm just thinking of all these
This
awesome
90s action movies, yeah.
I was like Smoking Aces. That would be another like great fucking thing.
Well,
like, you've got all
why
these
not
Yeah.
combine them? Why not the Bright World, but like all those scenarios?
Yeah,
So you can
that's
have, like,
exactly
orcs
what I'm
and
getting at.
elves,
It's
Yeah.
like, it's-
And that, yeah, and I've been doing that stuff since like 2006. Like these are like
Yeah.
very old ideas, and I only just started like making them into my own games the last 2 years. But
yeah,
I used to play like these online text games called mods, multi-user
yeah.
dungeons,
yeah,
and I used to do a lot of freeform role playing and stuff on them. And I actually had my own for a while, and it was literally just like what if D&D, like the Forgotten Realms, but in the 21st century.
yeah.
So I had like a modern version of like Waterdeep and like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, and I love that shit.
Yeah. Let me see here. A Werebadger would be more vicious, I would think. Probably. And then Vid also wants the omnibus, so definitely
Yep. Yeah.
add that stretch.
All right.
Yeah,
Let me see here. Lift coming up into the spaceport. Remember, no Orcish. The sound of plasma rifles charging fill the lift. This would be a no Russian reference.
Yeah.
yeah.
McCrease harnesses his autism to create things of beauty for all of us to enjoy. That is creative.
True.
That is completely true.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys compared him to like Barkley when he's like got like the intelligence
Yeah.
boost and he's kind of like, "Oh," like, and that made me laugh, and I was like, I can totally see that. Or like Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give you the mouse for a second.
Oh, did they did they click themselves away? Oh no!
Got that.
There you go.
Damn it, I was handing you the mouse
Yeah.
back button. I almost did it again just now. I'm gonna hand the mouse to you and I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
All right, let's see here.
Fat retard moment.
Where were we? You usually man the mouse.
I mean, it's going to be like way.
You know what? I'm just going to wait for you.
Yeah. Okay.
You walked like
this
7 feet away.
Yeah, I thought it was much fun, but this was a great show.
Yeah, all that trouble for nothing.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, let me see here. Oh, we got another super chat. Looks like, or maybe we didn't.
Nice.
Oh,
did we?
Yeah, like a $20 one.
Buck back for
yeah.
$20. Thank you. Okay, your character Glognard Sigorovich enters the room. You immediately notice two elven yakuza smoking cigarettes and drinking Halfling Lane. What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could totally see it. I mean,
Halfling would be a good
Halfling,
name for that. Buckquack is our most financially irresponsible subscriber. He often sends us super chats, so we do always appreciate that, man.
And that is a great idea.
Yeah.
I've seen him around. I think he follows me on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Is there going to be alien parasites? That looks like it's for Malachi, not for us.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Oh, I want to publish some conspiracy type adventures from Modern Necessities. The Lost City, but it's in Antarctica.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's actually a cool thing.
Yeah. What is
since it is modern, it's old school essentials. Is it just if people want to make content for this game, is that then just under their license, or do you have to do some sort of like special Viktor Gorchev license?
I wanted to avoid the OGL when I first wrote the first one. So I asked an aquatic gnome for like permission, like, hey, because of the all the OGL business, like fuck that shit. And they kind of gave me like a custom like little thing to put in the book, like, oh, this is all used with permission from the aquatic gnome and blah blah. But just to be sure, I'm also adding the SRD 5.1 like open license that Wizard of the Coast. So yeah, it's just going to be on the Creative Commons. So if you want to write for it, like go ahead. And if it's
is that the most recent iteration?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's something that's like horribly offensive, then I'm just going to be like, oh no, I don't know.
I didn't write that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, like it's not like I can stop you. So if anyone wants to write for it, go ahead. If this Kickstarter goes really well, I'm going to register as a business, and I'm thinking of maybe becoming like a small-time publisher myself. So if anyone wants to write stuff for it and then publish under the Scrying Dutchman name or whatever name I choose for, like we could also work something out.
Yeah.
So,
the Scrying Dutchman is an excellent name.
Yeah. Flying Dutchman. And I was like, how can I make that fantasy? I'm like, oh, you know what? Scrying. And then I did the whole crystal, like I have a windmill in the crystal ball as my
there you go.
Y-Files RPG. I don't know if are you familiar with the Y-Files?
I have no idea what that is.
It is an awesome YouTube channel. This guy who I think used to run like a big weed business in California or something, but he started doing these deep dives on like cryptid conspiracy theories and like conspiracies of like aliens and like weird things. Like there's one recently that I watched where there's a guy who has a theory that there's 300 years of history where like Charlemagne, that whole period was just made up. Because
Charlemagne didn't exist because there's but so like the first like half of his videos is him like really selling you the conspiracy, and it's awesome. Then he sort of does his best to debunk as much of it as possible, but at the end there's usually it's like, but here's all the stuff we can't really debunk honestly, and like so it's very interesting and very, very entertaining. But he goes over all sorts of stuff like this, so you could do like moon conspiracies and like alien bases on the moon, like pretty much anything.
Later this year or next year, the Basic Expert and me are going to collaborate on a kind of supernatural investigator game based on the X-Files. We're actually going to set it in the 90s, and it's going to use this co-puncher system, and we're going to call it Redacted. So
nice. Yeah,
that's going to be fun, I think.
Yeah.
People are still talking about Max Payne in the chat here. Let me see here. I will fight Harmony as the representative champ for Idaho. My chances are slim, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Texas and Florida both have wildlife that can kill you. That's true. Pretty much everywhere does.
Yeah, there's nowhere that it doesn't. There's either wildlife or the environment.
But it's not humid here, so that's better.
That is true. Yeah.
You currently live in Florida out of necessity and hate the climate. I prefer a 4-season climate. I just want the nice climate. I just want 2 seasons. I want spring and fall.
I want spring and spring.
Yeah, like fuck winter.
I hate fall, but that might be because
Yeah.
it's Dutch fall and it's just like rain, and I know it's rain
I
and
don't-
greenness.
I don't mind 4 seasons, but they got out of hand.
Yeah,
Like in the northeast.
Northeast
If it was
is
just
so miserable.
3 months of cold, 3
Yeah.
months of warm, 3 months of cool, 3 months of that's fine. But it's like
Like 5 months of bitter
5
cold.
months, and then you have like
Five-
3 weeks of like spring
Yeah.
days, winter nights, and then it goes back to like
Yeah,
a worse, colder than it was in December or
it
January.
sounds like but then we also get like searing, like sweaty summers. So yeah,
Yeah. Wait till you guys find out about a little fish in the Amazon called the kangaroo.
is that
Oh,
the one that swims
Candiru,
up your
that's
dick?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you make a death poison save in real life. Let me see here. Probably D20 Modern is like D&D 3.5 in terms of PC power dynamics. Yeah, that was basically
Yeah, because like the D20, that whole D20 sphere was built off of
3.5.
3.5.
If you find yourselves at Gen Con this year, check out the first exposure hall. We'll be there showing off our game. Nice.
Cool.
And trying our best to avoid being canceled at the same time. Peace. Yeah, I don't know. When is Gen Con?
It's always like either the end, the last 2 days or so of July, first 2 days of August. Like it's in that area.
Okay.
I want to hit up some
We'll see.
cons eventually, but
Yeah.
I mean,
We
it's like one in Britain, but I mean, it's Britain, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
No,
come to
thank
America. Yeah. Let's see here. We might go to North Texas RPG Con. We were like definitely going to go, and then we were kind of thinking about it, and we're like, I don't know if I want to go to a con.
Yeah.
There's not really a reason other than we don't want to at this point.
There's also a based conference that I kind of want to go to that weekend.
Well, if in the next few years I like kind of get my career going and I make like a
Mhm.
decent amount of money, I might hit up some ones in the US, maybe go
Yeah.
to
Nice.
Gary Con
Well,
or
it's
something.
a lot easier because you'll be living there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
You're living
I mean,
in Idaho.
I just need to convince the basic expert to start like a business and then hire me so I can move over there. But yeah, we'll see.
But Quack says, would have been a longer message, but I'm not about to spend upwards of $50 on BLG. If Matt and Nick were big titty V girls, maybe some things would be different, but alas, they're not. Yeah, sorry. The full Colville delivery in 2027. What about dwarf wizards? Are they represented? Do they feel seen?
I mean, sky's the limit, right? You can do whatever the hell you want at the end of the day. So if you want to be a dwarf wizard, I mean, go at it. I don't care.
Except you'll be persecuted by your kinsfolk.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Ogres smuggling small races guns inside of their own guns should be a thing. This is modern weaponry, right? Not laser guns or anything.
So the core book is all modern weaponry, assault rifle, battle rifle, magnum revolver, like combat shotgun, like all that stuff. And then the cutting edge book, which is one of the stretch goals, will add like plasma cannons, laser rifles, like rail guns, blasters, like all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Halflings might have big hands.
Yeah. They can.
You know what they say about dudes with big hands?
Yeah.
They
so
break their wrists
gloves.
from the recoil and bleed
Yeah.
out.
Yes, the futuristic guns and stuff is its own unique book.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you get the omnibus, which is a
That is true.
cutting stretch goal.
Yep.
I love halflings. I'm sorry. I love the idea of a stoner halfling inspired by Jesse Pinkman. Yeah. Halflings against cultural appropriation. All right.
Halflings have no culture to appropriate.
The Daniel Howling Coyote lore was what sold me on Shadowrun.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what that is. He must be a lore character. Or something.
It's basically like all the magic returning to Earth is because of the Native Americans.
Oh yeah, the
like,
ghost dance. Yeah,
the Great Ghost Dance. And then afterwards, they like basically took back parts of America. So you've got like the Indian nations and stuff like that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see, bro. This is a modern world game. I can finally mix swords and sorcery, Catholicism, anime, right-wing extremism, and hyperviolence. This is everything I've ever desired.
Yeah, definitely.
Butt quack. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
That's actually one of the alignments: right-wing extremism.
Do you have gun kata in the game?
I do
Was
have
it
like
equilibrium.
yeah, I do have like one of the classes is called the Crook, and that's like very John Woo, which is like proto gun kata stuff. And then I've got like a martial artist class and like all that stuff. So since it's old school essential, you have to kind of like bake stuff into the classes rather than it being like feats or stuff like that. It doesn't really do feats. I might play around with that some. We'll see. I have got some ideas for like perks and like kind of that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's mostly just you pick a class, or maybe you can multi-class. Like if you want to do the Crook and the martial artist together, then you've got.
I kind of like that though. Like if you're gonna do, I really do feel that like if you're doing a class-based system, that's the direction that it should be. Like go with a class-based system.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do like a build system, don't mix them. They don't generally gel very well.
Yeah.
I used to deny being a weeb. This is butt quack. I just like some anime, but then I had to admit that by some anime, I meant the majority of what I watch. So yeah, the meme is accurate.
I'll be right back real quick. I gotta do some bio stuff.
Yeah, some Dutch business. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, thank God he's gone. No. Damn, we look kind of red today. Maybe that's just
we always do.
We always do, but it's like it gets worse.
Yeah.
It's like the color correction is different every day.
Right.
We don't have any extra. Whatever. Who cares? CEO dragons are the best dragons.
Yeah, Shadowrun.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me see here. Asking Buttquack how much of a weeb he's talking. Oh man, that's a dangerous question to ask someone.
An answer you don't want to know.
Do you have good knife rules? Can I be a knife-wielding maniac? Is it viable? We'll get back to that question, Mr. Max.
If you're a maniac,
actually,
why accept any reality that says it's not viable?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There you go. All right, here we go. Mr. Max is asking if you have good knife rules.
I mean, it's just the standard melee system from Old School Essentials. So. I do have knives. I have like melee weapons. I have like nunchucks. I have like tactical tomahawk and a chainsaw and stuff like that. So
hell yeah.
How's it going, Doc Flamingo? Good to see you. I saw your post in locals, and I think I responded to it. So let me know. I don't remember. I think it was about like the WotC video where they like apparently were like viciously awful to Gygax or something.
I did not.
I had not seen it, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. But good to see you, Doc Flamingo. We're always happy to have you here.
Absolutely.
Buttquack on his anime. I mean, if we're talking degenerate stuff, not at all. Although, like any healthy adult man, I do like hot chicks. Outside of the very degenerate stuff, I'm very weeb.
One of the first animes I ever saw was Legend of the Overfiend. So. I mean,
oh man,
only the real ones know, but
yeah. It's like when you're like 12 and you rent Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know what any of this is. I've heard of Ninja Scroll. You told me I need to.
You need to watch Ninja Scroll. It's fucking awesome.
Wicked City is another one.
Wicked City, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
What is the one that's like Golgo 13 or whatever? I haven't seen it, but that was one that was always supposed to be really good.
Yeah, Golgo 13 is awesome.
Yeah. I love like 90s, late 80s and 90s anime is so fucking good.
When stuff was still like hand animated and like they just drew like ultra realistic guns. It was just some giant Japanese autist just sitting there just meticulously drawing guns and like mechas and stuff.
There was some anime recently I just saw, it was on Twitter that someone had posted it, where it's apparently it took like 9 years or something absurd to get this done because they didn't use any computer stuff at all. And there's all this crazy shit where like perspective is changing and like, but it's all 2D animation. It looks
that does sound
rad.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm genuinely curious for all the people asking, can I do X or will it support Y? Why are you asking? Is homebrewing / overhauling not standard? Do people actually play rules as written? A lot of people do. We try to play rules as written when we first get a game.
Yes.
And if we find that the rules are bad, then we change them.
Right.
Yeah.
I have nothing against homebrew, and I don't even really have anything against Rule Zero as a base concept, but I do think that you should give the actual rules a try before you do any of that. But it's like, why else did you spend like $50-$60 on like a book if you're not
right
the rules?
Yeah, because the like mechanics really do change how a game plays and feels. And if you have a good game designer, then I want to know what is the feel that they're going for. Like, what is the actual experience that they're intending you to have?
And I mean, I'm part of the basic expert and associates, attorneys at law. So
yeah, exactly. I'm not a rules as written dogmatist, but I think you definitely need to give it a try first.
Well, you guys are dirty story gamers anyway.
That's true.
So,
I mean,
we
don't even use rules.
Story gamers / battle mat
grognards. Yeah, exactly. We exist in some sort of quantum superposition.
It depends on the political alignment of the guy that hates you.
Exactly. Friend enemy spells determines whether or not we're tactical war gamers or story gamers. But yeah, I think you should give rules as written a try for a game before you start tinkering with it. But again, I'm also, it's like, the bros have a different perspective in that they think that it's like you're missing out on D&D 1E raw because it's the best designed game ever. I think that's the baseline argument that they make, but a lot of times it just comes off as like, well, you're not even playing by the rules. And I'm like, well, I'm not an arbitrary rule follower. Right. So I'm like, I have a problem with authority, like a really bad problem with authority.
So and then they're like, you should follow the rules. And then you see like whole Twitter threads where they're discussing what did Guy Gex mean by this?
Yeah.
Like, you guys don't even know the rules.
But then people, when they do say things like even basic stuff, like it's going to get to a point, someone's going to be like, you should roll a d20 for your attack. And people are going to be like, oh, what? You're just going to tell me that I have to play this one true way where I have to follow the core mechanic? You know, it's gonna...
Well, that's the way it's going in both directions.
Yeah.
So both sides are going to reach their like endpoint.
Yeah.
At some point soon, and it will be hilarious.
Well, I was thinking on this earlier. So you've got like all these like Rule Zero enjoyers, and it's like, oh well, I don't have to use encumbrance, so like use a d20 if I don't want to. Yeah. And then those same people, they get mad when you're like, yeah, my campaign doesn't have tieflings. It's like, well, it's in the book. Why don't you allow tieflings to pick it? Like, oh, so you don't mind throwing away rules, but the moment I throw away a race, you get mad. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is the problem with. I was just talking with you about this the other day. The changing goalposts and the sort of co-opting of what Rule Zero was initially intended. And the spirit of Rule Zero is correct, which is if you have played this game and there is something which is lacking or doesn't work because you have played it, you've ran it, you are a thinking person and you can recognize when things don't work.
If the rule doesn't fulfill its intended purpose,
you can and should add, amend, adjust, expand. But now Rule Zero is just this is sort of a carte blanche permission to just hate on rules as such, or to use it's used to like nullify it's to make rules impotent. Like, well, it's Rule Zero. I don't have to play it that way. You can't actually force me to do that. You can't
make me do this. And like, first of all, no one's trying to make you do anything. It's so ridiculous. And it comes up on Twitter like every day. Mm-hmm. But I guess it kind of has to because there's so many of these fucking weirdos out there.
Yeah. I try not to get involved. I mean, I've had like fill of drama and stuff last year. And
I know. Which I don't envy you that, but I do like conflict, so it is fun to I didn't used to too. Like I used to really hate conflict. and that changed drastically. And now I love it. It's like it's like get a taste for internet blood. I saw Keanu in Cyberpunk, and my thought was, "Damn, Ted really fell off hard after Wild Stallions broke off."
Yeah. I watched the
Bill and Ted.
the Bill and Ted
the new one
sequel. The new one, not the sequel.
Yeah,
the new one. And I thought it was going to be dog shit, and
it's a Bill and Ted movie.
And it was awesome.
It was good. Yeah.
And it's like, I get their daughter. It's like a female lead, their daughters, but
their daughters are just Bill and Ted.
They're just Bill and Ted. They're dumb as shit.
They didn't do anything like weird, progressive with them. They were just they're just dumb.
It's super funny.
It was fun. Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah. Heckin' wholesome Keanu Chungus 421,000. Knowing me, my modern necessities would be a mix of Archer and the Naked Gun.
Yeah, sky's the limit.
Yep.
You could do Bright, but without Will Smith. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you should if you're doing Bright.
Yeah. They should have done that.
They should have done that, yes.
But they did. I mean, they needed a name actor for it and everything like that. No one would have been interested.
You can also just do straight up modern, by the way. You don't have to include any of that fantasy shit. So
yeah, but I think you'd be doing it wrong if you did that.
Yeah,
because
it's too cool.
Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
The first Max Payne beautifully sells the Blizzard and has a haunting feeling to it, especially impressive given how primitive graphics were back then. In that game when it came out, I was like, this is photorealistic.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
It's funny going back to things like, God, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Look at it now, and it's like, what's this, like Nintendo 64 or like Commodore 64?
What's especially great about the first Max Payne too is I remember it being like, this is so dark and atmospheric, and going back, like, the plot is so fucking stupid and ridiculous. But I took it so seriously.
I was replaying Deus Ex, and right when you get to Hell's Kitchen, when you're outside in New York City, it's like everything is just a square.
Yeah,
it's like a 3D block, a texture block. Like, oh god, this is rough.
We got Sly Blue Demon here. Good to see you, man.
Absolutely, man.
I will say, though, one of the greatest games from that era, which still completely holds up, is the first Alien versus Predator on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking scary still. It's so tense. Because the enemies respawn. Like, they never go... Like, you can run out of ammo in the level, and you're fucked. It's so scary. It's so good, too. All right, let's see if we got any more questions here. We got lots of people with jokes. Not all of them that I can read. Let me see here. I wish BLG would get ours to disable live reactions so we can read the fucking chat. Can we do that? If we can, we will.
What
next
live
time.
reaction?
Yeah. So it's like on the mobile app especially. There's like a heart button that covers whatever the current.
Oh
chat
I've
is.
seen that.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it. I thought it was just you had to deal with that. Okay, we got another Aquinas post here. If only those idiots Aristotle and Thomas Aquinas could realize what I've realized. The only route to true happiness is getting the validation of based internet people. I'm honored. Yeah. Correct. Let's see. How could I make the Flying Dutchman fantasy? I don't know, man. A flying pirate ship sounds pretty fucking fantasy to me.
I wanted to give it my own twist. I didn't want to just be the Flying Dutchman. It's kind of like that's overdone.
No, of course. The BLG guys have not played Alan Wake 2 as of yet.
I haven't yet.
You've played Alan Wake 1.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I hear 2 is kind of crap, but I don't know.
Yeah. It looks really
thought people
pretty,
liked
though. I don't know.
I will play it eventually.
Yeah. What sucked in Florida was that the rain was warm. Yeah.
I like that, though. I hate cold rain. There's nothing worse.
Yeah, but I want the rain. I want the rain to be cool in the summer to cool me off.
Right.
And I want the breeze to be cool.
Yeah.
Whereas, like in Texas last summer, you go outside in the breeze and it was like someone was hitting you with a giant hair dryer. Like it was so hot.
Yeah.
All right, let me see here. I prefer my Central Texas spring and summer. Yeah, last Central Texas summer was just pure misery, but it was good. And have a good night, Patty's Parlor.
Later,
always,
Patty. Oh, take care,
always
man.
good to have you here. Let me see here. I wish all these indie creators, BLG, McCree, Scrying Dutchman, Max Boivin, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, man. Would establish a game company to rival the AAA assholes. Yeah, I don't know anything about video games. You'd have to ask Mr. Max about that.
I wouldn't know
them.
what to do.
Yeah. Let's see. What portion of the chat is in USA? A bunch.
Yeah, a lot.
Holy shit, that Ent is packing a railgun. So, okay, I do have a question about the railguns. Is that like a personal weapon that you can have, or is that more of like a mounted weapon that's going to be on like?
Yeah, there's gonna be personal weapons where you can have them, kind of like an eraser. You know that Oni movie?
Oh yeah,
like that kind of stuff. So
nice. Modern Necessities sounds pretty badass.
Thank you.
It does, and it is.
Yeah, eraser would be great. I suppose you could do like all of the Arnold movies.
Yeah.
With this. Like, what was the one with the where they're like copying people into clones?
The sixth day.
No, the Sixth Day. Sixth Day is the one where he fights Satan at the end.
no, that's End of Days.
End of Days. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is the Sixth Day.
Yeah.
Or
it's the one from the Mad TV sketch. If you ever seen that, the Arnie ones. It's like, oh, the devil's clone. It's my blockbuster hit movie, The Devil's Clone.
Matthew Pickard here for $5 Canadian.
Thank you, man.
Your thumbnail honestly reminded me of a Shadowrun 5e game I was in, where I was an Eastern European orc in the Russian mafia.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
That's the exact kind of stuff you can do with this.
Well, I used to play on one of those text games that was Shadowrun Berlin, and I played it with my friend, and we made 2 orcs, Russian orcs, and they had like the tracksuits, the gold chains, the cyberpunk AKs. They had like one of those like Lada, like those boxy like Eastern European cars, but like with monster truck tires. And the names they were twins, and their names were Cheeky and Breeky.
Of course they were.
Yeah.
And we got someone suggesting that you could also do the Arnold movie Twins with Danny DeVito.
or Junior.
Yeah, it's already got a literal monster in it. So. All right, let's scroll down here. We gotta try and catch up. We're way behind. We always are, though. At Viktor Gorchev, to answer your question, sir, I spend money on books for the same reason I buy tool sets. It's sometimes the most cost-effective way of getting what I'm looking for. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Which that's a good way to buy books as well.
It is.
I am fine with that. Like I said, we're not raw autists or whatever. Based flamingo. We must have missed chat above. Can't read that one. I think the Rule Zero zealots are worse than the raw gamers. Absolutely. Because you get to a point where the Rule
Zero extremists are not. They don't actually have a philosophy. They're not trying. They're just denouncing you.
Yeah, they're just denouncing you.
It's fun. Who cares? Like that's not a philosophy.
It's not a philosophy, and it's not like they're totally right. The raw enjoyers. It's not a game at that point. Like if you're not playing by any sort of rules, if everything's arbitrary, like why do you even need dice?
Well, I also think that if you're talking about games on like Twitter or whatever, there needs to be like a common language, a lingua franca, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you pronounce it, and that should be rules as written. If I talk about 5th edition, I'm going to talk about how 5th edition is written, and I don't really give a shit about your weird homebrew. Don't come into my comments and talking about your homebrew like it's just as valid as what the game actually says. That just muddies the waters, so to speak.
I mean, I know exactly. It's like, what are you even arguing about at that point? Yeah. It's like I'm going to talk about fifth edition. Well, that's not Vampire the Masquerade. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
You
that's why I said 5th edition. Not Vampire the
That's why I used words.
Yeah.
If you pay a designer for their rules and you get half a game system, you need a refund.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree. I will not, unfortunately, be getting a refund for Candela Obscura.
Yeah.
I
mean, you got some enjoyment out of it, didn't you?
I did. I mean, I made the money back. For sure on the live stream after that. But I allow tieflings, but in my games they're called cunts. I should have read that one. Yeah, should have read that one before I would. I also like the only time that we talked about this on our last stream. I think the only time that I played a tiefling, I like ruined the game because I was playing him. Like I went from like, I think I was like neutral good or something like that. And I was just playing Chaotic Evil.
Yeah.
I was a problem player.
The only tieflings I accept are the short stack ones. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the thick short stack tieflings.
Yeah.
If you pay a designer for their rules and use only half of them, well, that's on you. But why did you pay exactly?
Right.
I'm fine with homebrew. It just needs to be well thought out. Yes, agreed.
Mhm.
Lots of people go right into homebrew without trying raw, and I've been in a lot of games with homebrew that broke systems. Yeah.
Same. And it's like I'll get invited to like a 5th edition game. It's like, oh yeah, I like 5th edition, and then you join, and it's like it's not 5th edition. It's just like whatever that weird shit they want to do. And it's like, well, that's not what I signed up for. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be one thing like this. This is another thing. It's like I would be more open to sort of what do you say, letting sleeping dogs lie or whatever, but like what passes for creativity that comes out of these people's minds is dog shit.
So bad.
It's so bad. Like if it was at least like good or great, like okay, I'll be a part of that.
Rex Teal, good to see you.
I'm also very like live and let live, but like I said, like if I'm talking about the rules and you come in with your weird homebrew and you pretend that it's just as valid as what I'm talking about, like no, it's not. It's your stupid homebrew.
Yeah. Use rules as written and use them in creative ways. Limitations can force one to become creative. That is entirely true. Yeah, that's the hard thing. It's like starting with a blank canvas is really, really difficult. No one is making you do anything, but there's nothing stopping me from kicking you from the game. Yeah.
Nothing yet.
At the end of the day, if you want to do homebrew, do it like me and make it an actual book that people buy, and then it's rules as written. So
yeah, it's rules as written, and you get money.
Or do whatever you want. Like keep it in your group and don't like
shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a new system, it's wise to run a few games raw, then get the hang of things. Then you can hack it to better suit what you want. Exactly. I do appreciate everyone's constructive feedback. You're welcome. The thing that occasionally bothers me with raw people is worshiping designers or pretending as though rules are perfectly designed by default.
That is the most irritating thing.
That is so fucking
and it's so wrong.
Yeah.
I don't really care about designers. Like some of my favorite games, if you ask me who wrote it, I'm like,
oh yeah,
I have no idea. I don't really care about personalities and like all that stuff. So
yeah. Let me see here. The Ascent is a great cyberpunk video game, indie 2D shooter, but it's full-on RPG and the vibe is great. Interesting. I've never heard of that one. That's why I generally play solo or with my remaining core of players. I'm not about to train myself or others to play pretend correctly, whatever that might mean. Yeah. Sometimes you have to, though, if you got to get a new group, if you move or something. And Vid, on board with that, I own a solid shelf and a half of games I won't play from people I like or who have the occasional idea I want to steal. Yeah, that's the thing. You're totally right. Like this, like a bunch of games that I have no idea who made them. And there's not, I hate the worship that goes along with these things.
Yeah. Almost every game designer is a thoroughly unimpressive person as well. In every metric.
I don't consider myself particularly impressive. I have massive imposter syndrome to begin with. Like my dream would be to just be like have people buy my games and otherwise just kind of leave me alone. I just want to do my thing. I just want to like appear on streams and talk some shit. I want to like post on Twitter, and I don't really want to be a personality, but
All right. They said we can get rid of the live reactions.
Live reaction thing.
Watch me completely fucking destroy the stream. Customization, live reactions, uncheck, save.
Saved.
All right, and we're still streaming. Thank God. Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. It should be fixed, Mr. Max. Let me see here. Puerto Rico has hot rain. Yeah,
I would imagine so.
I can't play anything until I burn out on Helldivers 2. I've seen memes about this game.
Yeah, this was going around the last couple of weeks. I don't know anything about it. I don't have it. I've never played it.
Yeah.
It started that whole like Starship Troopers debate that was like really annoying.
Yeah. It was like a Colonial Marines or something against bugs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
But it plays into that whole Starship Troopers like oh, we're like based patriots and we're just killing like the bug menace. And then of course you've got all the people. It's like, well, that's fascism. And it started like a whole annoying thing on Twitter.
Yeah, I loved that debate. Twitter was so funny.
Hilarious.
Jim Jesus for $2.
Yeah.
Jim Jesus would like to ask the question: where do you get your ideas from?
Alcohol and dreams.
Yeah.
Nice. I've actually had dreams where I came up with whole like game mechanics and stuff. So I'm not even really joking. But yeah,
no, I had that happen the other day. I woke up and was like, "Holy shit!" Like I just figured it out.
Yeah, which is really cool when that happens. But no, movies, books. I'm a big movie fan. Like 90s, 80s, like early 2000s, like action movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, RoboCop, Total Recall, John Wick, Jason Bourne, Heat. Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, you know, all those John Woo movies like Hard Boiled, The Killer.
Hard Boiled's so good.
Like that kind of stuff. Bright, and then the first edition of Bright, Alien Nation.
Yep.
And then like books kind of like Dresden Files. I really love Monsanto International by Larry Carrera. A book series that I got into recently that somebody suggested to me because of the stuff I write is Forgotten Ruin, which is really awesome. It's basically about like these 200 like army rangers get sent to the future because there's like an apocalypse happening, and they get sent to the future to like, you know, restart society, but they're only supposed to be going forward like 2 years, but they end up going forward like 10,000 years. And this nano plague that's going on has turned everything into D&D land. So there's like orcs and like magic and like giants and shit. So it's like these 200 like modern army rangers like shooting orcs in the face, and it's amazing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So stuff like that.
So we got an important question from Steambub. Speaking of short stack, Goblin Hood Girls.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Gross. And Mr. Max would like to know: should Catholics only play Raw? It's a condom reference, I believe. Designers should definitely make the best game that they can. Yeah. But so many of times they don't.
Everyone should make the best that they can in whatever medium.
At least the best that you could make it at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, again,
the best you can.
I feel like my previous one wasn't the greatest, but yeah. It's still a full game though. Like you can buy like the current Modern Necessities, and like it's totally playable. I don't really like when people release a game but they do it with like plans to have like all these add-ons.
I know.
That include mechanics that you actually need.
Yeah, that bot, like I like supplements, but when it's like adding things that should have been in the core system.
Yeah. Like, I left out magic. I'll just do that in another book. Like, why?
One of my favorite games did that. The core book didn't have any fucking magic in it. It was so infuriating.
Yeah.
But he made up for it in the fact that the next book was so good.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I forgive this now. And you could hack it if you went and got the preview PDF file off of DriveThruRPG. The first 20 pages has most of the magic rules in it, so it was like, okay, we could get you could bring it, but still, it's very frustrating. Do publishers get in the way of designers like studios get in the way of the movies?
I'm not sure because I haven't dealt with a publisher yet. I just do everything myself, and I might become a publisher myself, but I don't really foresee myself having too many demands. Like, I might be like, you really can't say this word in this book, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, exactly. No, nothing that's like.
I don't think
really
it's a question
egregious.
that needs to really be. You need to really concern yourself with in like this hobby, because unless you're becoming an employee of an established company, not only does it not make sense to do that, like. There's no avenue to do that.
Yeah.
Like to interface with a publisher.
Yeah.
Like no publisher would talk to a regular guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the beautiful thing too, though. It's because
it's good.
Like now, it's like you don't have a marketing budget that's outside of what you already have on hand, obviously. So there's a disadvantage there, but you reap all the benefits as an indie designer, as opposed to getting paid some like,
but also like
$15 an hour or something.
WotC is the only company in the hobby space that markets at all.
Yeah.
Unless there
Paizo
happens
well,
to be what's that?
The Paizo maybe does as well.
I've never seen a Paizo commercial. Like I've seen commercials for the video games.
Yeah.
Like I've seen commercials for obviously the Cyberpunk video game. Obviously, that's an IP that started.
Yeah.
And so that I'm sure that did drive considerable sales to Artel Saurian, but there aren't commercials or promos or banner ads for tabletop games.
Yeah, unless it's for a Kickstarter.
Yeah, they
right.
Because I got
that nice to Kickstarter. A lot of times.
Yeah, like I was seeing Shadow Dark ads on like Instagram, I think, because they worked with BackerKit, and it's like you just provide them the stuff and they run the ads for you.
Tabletop games are still very word of mouth in my experience.
Yeah.
Like most games that I hear about is because somebody mentions it on the Guilded server, like the Basic Expert Guilded server and stuff. So
yeah, I get pretty much everything from YouTube. Is where I get all my news, at least for tabletop games.
Your news, your politics.
Exactly. Gents, I'm heading out early flight tomorrow at Viktor Gorchev. Best of luck with the Kickstarter. I intend to back it. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting. Let's meet up next time in Texas.
Yes, yeah, man. Most definitely. Safe flight.
Yeah.
So you guys are in Texas, or?
Yes, in Texas.
I thought you were in New York, or did you used to live?
I used to live in. I lived in New York for 10 years. He was also on the East Coast, but now we live in America.
Yeah. Nice.
Hit me up anytime.
That was funny.
Yeah,
I got it. It took me a second, but I got
it. Headed to Mexico. Nice. Let me see here. Well, I bought books for the same game written by different dudes and seen a huge downshift in quality. Champions 5e after 4e, for example. Yeah.
I mean, that's nothing new though. Like that's always been the case where like an edition is just like it's either a massive downgrade or it's an upgrade or it's kind of just more of the same.
Yeah. All right, let me see here. They actually felt bad for the bugs. Yeah, that was really funny. Dude really hit us with it was revealed to me in a dream. I respect that. Nice. Difference between a game and make-believe is rules. Without rules, you might as well go full child mod and go suck your thumb. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called a game at the end of the day. So
exactly. And that's even if you don't treat it literally as like I'm playing chess with a victory condition and everything like that.
Right.
The gamified elements make the experience. That's how you like. If you don't have a neutral arbiter of things going on, it just sucks.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say like rules oftentimes also inform setting. So yeah. If you leave out certain rules, you might ruin the setting.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, that's why you can't generally just take a setting and just dump it into a completely different system because it changes things.
Yeah.
I kind of like bug people in games. Does that mean something? And then Mr. Max says, maybe we need a District 9 RPG. You could do that with Modern Necessities, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Get cutting edge. Probably going to put in like all these alien NPCs and weird sci-fi guns. And you could do District 9.
And so for this is actually, as far as like monsters and stuff, do you have kind of a bestiary in it? Or is it like the different races are going to be kind of the monsters?
So I do have a bestiary. It's the original one is mostly just like, it's a hitman, it's a soldier, it's a like all that stuff. Because old school essentials, the NPCs are very basic. It's very hard to like differentiate them, like at least stat wise. Stat wise, they're often very, very similar, and you kind of differentiate them by like giving them like little special abilities. But like I said, the original is kind of basic. I'm gonna try to expand on it. I want to put in like some stuff like cryptids, like Wendigos and Bigfoot, and like stuff like that. So, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Sly Blue Demon asking what game left out magic. That would be Within the Ring of Fire, which is right here. The core book
does not have magic.
Does not have magic or some other things that are necessary.
That's silly.
Yeah, it is silly, but he followed it up with 77 Thrones, which is the book on all the deities.
Yeah.
the divinities rather, and it has all the divine magic in it, and the book on the gods is so good that it was
excellent.
It was like, okay, I'll forgive this.
Yeah, you're forgiven.
Yeah. Let me see here. Recalling when Spoonie speculated that D&D 5e would be a microtransaction game system, people called him crazy back in 2014, but he was probably right if a little early. Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be 5e. It's going to be 5.5 or 6th edition, whatever you want to call it. One
right.
D&D. That's probably going to be the microtransaction one.
Yeah. Does Spoonie still talk about RPGs? I don't know who that is.
He's a YouTuber who was popular in like an earlier generation of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
The name sounds familiar, but
yeah. Publishers will definitely ask you to change things to fit their style guides, sensibilities, and political whims. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like we were considering, and we're still kind of considering, making a Storyteller's Vault supplement for Vampire.
Yeah.
But we're not sure if maybe it should become its own game separately. And we're like, don't want to give any money to White Wolf or whoever owns it now.
Yeah,
true.
Split the revenue.
True.
Let me see here. Spoonie fell off hard. People love Spoonie. Bum, bum, bum. The only D&D commercial I've seen is the one they did for Japan. I don't know what he's talking about.
I never saw it. It makes sense. I don't live in Japan.
Although I did see that they made like a like signature D&D party, like lore characters for Japan, and they were all kind of like anime style. That
it
looked
like
pretty cool.
One.
Yeah,
it looked better than the actual like normal 5e art.
Like way better.
It was like Goblin Slayer stuff, which was awesome.
Yeah, they had people that could draw.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of just dudes they grabbed off of Tumblr.
Yeah. Game designers go to the publisher with a cool idea, and they come back with a list of demands to change the game to make it more like insert popular video game at the moment. It's very depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an awful dynamic.
I don't think I would be ever that draconian as a publisher. Like I said, I might be like, well, you can't fucking put the N-word in the title, sorry. But
yeah, I know exactly.
You know, like, but I'm not.
That's a big ask, you know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be like all that, you know, like a dictator about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember D&D TV commercials in the 80s, but I haven't noticed anything since. Of course, I haven't watched TV in 2 decades. I mean, I guess you could consider the D&D movie a commercial for the game, in a sense.
Well, I mean it's just like Cyberpunk, the video game.
Yeah.
It's a different medium that uses the IP.
Yeah.
Ultimately, yes, but
make your own game. Take my fucking money, please, God. We will take your money.
Yes.
It's in the works.
Yeah.
I heard that Cubic had to make Warhammer Fantasy woke because Games Workshop required it from the license. Ooh, that would suck.
That would suck. It also wouldn't surprise me. So I don't know much about Warhammer, but everything I hear about people talking about Games Workshop, it's
Malachi would like to know why he can't put nerd in the title. Anyway, we're heading up on 10:30. That was a quick 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was super fun. But I highly recommend everybody go and check out the Kickstarter. It is linked in the
check out the Kickstarter. Check out Victor's channel.
Yeah, check out his channel as well.
Yeah.
We'll be linking the Kickstarter in the description of the video as well, so you can sign up for it when it goes live tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking like there's no way that you're not going to absolutely blow past the initial.
Yeah, you could. Rest easy tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
If you know the 300 people signed up with 10 or $15 a piece, you're basically there anyway. So that would be. I think it's going to do extremely, extremely well.
We'll see what happens, but I hope so.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to cut it off here, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for everybody who's
thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yeah, and especially thank you for
all
those of you who signed up for the Kickstarter.
Yeah, thanks everyone. You guys got like a really cool fan base. Everyone's really nice in the chat. So,
which reminds me, check out our locals.
Oh yeah, check out our locals. Go sign up. Use promo code Midwit. You will get a free month.
Nice.
You do get access to our videos like a day and a half early. And we kind of we tease, what we're working on over there
Yep.
as well. So we will be more active on it as well. And the podcast is returning next week. So that's going to be fucking rad.
Yes.
And we're putting your super chats to good use on that. So anyway, okay, I'm going to click good night.
All right,
on the
take
stream.
care, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.